We always want more of something and less of something. And it could be everything from, I would like to have more time for journaling. Could be that. And then you have some people, I would like to have a Ferrari. But you just need to get on to that path. And then the next exercise I give them, tell me what's draining you in your life. And tell me what gives you energy in your life. You have three brains. You have a conscious brain, you have a subconscious brain, and you have your ego brain. So I always teach people to set A goals, B goals, and C goals. A goals is like, tomorrow I'm gonna buy some toilet paper. And B goals is that, okay, in 1 year from now, I'm gonna do this, and that's something I can do. A C goal is the one to the moon.
Guys, welcome back to the podcast. You may notice a big improvement in the audio and the video, and that is because I'm in a new podcast studio in Marbella called Useek Studio. This place is just phenomenal. If you're doing a podcast or even just recording any type of content, go hit them up, tell them I sent you, and now let's get into the episode. It's a big one today. Awesome. All right, guys, welcome back to the game plan. In Marbella, you're never short of an interesting person to get on the show. There's a lot of entrepreneurial people here. There's a big entrepreneurial community. So today we have Mike Radoor. That was my damn.
That was great. That was great. Some people say Radoor.
It's like when people, the Americans always say Lipsett. Like, yeah, people, and it's Lipsett, you know, it's a little bit more subtle. But Mike, we got a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack here. I've been doing my research. You're an absolutely killer entrepreneur. But tell me about your humble beginnings in Denmark. What was the first entrepreneurial thing you ever did? What was the first product you ever sold?
Wow, and thank you for having me. It's an honor. Well, what was the first? I think in Denmark when I was a kid, we had these newspapers where you could put up an ad and you could sell a product and you could buy phone, do some buy and sell. So what I did, I always wanted at that time, I wanted the PlayStation. I just wanted the PlayStation, but I didn't have enough money to get it. So I started buying, for the money I had, a very old laptop like this fat, with a printer inside.
No way. Yeah, that would be like a box.
Yeah, it was huge. And I bought it cheap, and then I created an ad, and I sold it more expensive, and then I bought another computer, sold it more expensive, and that was probably my first entrepreneurial journey. I set that up myself.
Yeah, very nice. I remember my first one, right? It actually has something to do with Spain and Marbella.
Wow.
So we went on a family holiday. I was maybe 10 years old or 11, 12, around that.
Yeah.
And so remember there used to be like loads of street markets and they would sell pellet guns, like BB guns, the little air pistols. Yeah. So I bought a load of them and then I brought them back to Ireland, smuggled them back and sold them to all the kids in the neighborhood. And so everyone started shooting each other, and then all the parents went crazy at my parents because they're like, your son sold my son a pellet gun, a BB gun.
What's
and
going
he got
on?
shot in the eye and everything. I'm like, it's looking troublesome here. But so that was the first entrepreneurial thing.
Yeah, you got the idea.
Yeah, I know.
And you saw this can sell.
Yeah,
and that's a natural.
You couldn't get them in Ireland. You couldn't get the pellet guns. They were only legal in Spain.
But still in that age, that's an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah. And so do you think that you can be taught to be an entrepreneur, or do you think it is something that you naturally have in you?
No, I definitely believe everyone is born like a clean sheet of paper.
Okay.
And the way you create your belief systems and everything happens in your early ages. So if your parents has something in them as a goal-getter, or if you are especially born and raised in scarcity, and you meet people who is not in scarcity, I think you get your drive of wanting more. Or if you are raised in a very harsh environment where you maybe get bullied and you have something to prove.
Yes.
Right? Watch
the chip on your shoulder.
Right?
Yeah.
I believe that can grow into an entrepreneur. It can either go both ways. Either you can get broken by it, or you can get wildly driven by it. Yeah, I believe in that.
And were your parents entrepreneurs, or what did they do?
No, they weren't. Actually, my dad is mentally ill, but he's fine. He's great. He's mentally ill, but he caught a mental disease when he was younger.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's okay. He's the one who taught me most about life and love.
Man, that's beautiful.
Yeah, but my mom was, we were in a tough situation. The classic story.
Yes.
Where we didn't have much money, and
Oh no! Yeah, bring the coffees
okay.
on. Yeah,
coffee.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
we're only getting going. Cheers, nice. That's perfect. I'll grab these. Oh yeah, just put it down there. Actually, yeah, it's perfect. They're super hot.
Chocolate is not for Rob.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he's on a diet.
Yeah, I'm not eating that.
He's on the diet.
Come on, guys, it's summer. It's peak Marbella summer. Yes. Cheers, bro.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Exactly. There we go. I like having a little. Like having a little coffee during the podcast makes things more relaxed.
Absolutely, it's super.
So tell me, your mother.
Yeah, so when I was around 10 or 11, they split up, and we were living in a big house, and my mom couldn't afford it. And that's where we got split up in the family. And, you know, I moved to my grandmother, my sister moved to some friends, and my mom moved into with her new boyfriend. Yeah. And that created a separation, and that made me get this drive. Yeah. You know, I want, this is not good for me. And when I was in school, I changed the school, I got bullied, and my response was beating them up.
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck can you bully you?
No, I wasn't born like this.
He came out of the womb just absolutely jacked, 6'3", 200 pounds.
You know, I was a spaghetti. I was super slim. No, and yeah, so that was, and my mom was always, you know, really tough. And there was no crying, there was no nothing. If I got hurt, she said, stand up again. Yeah. And if I got beaten, she said, that's your own fault.
And so do you think you were closer to your mom or your dad?
So yeah, I was raised with my mom, but my mom had a little hard time of showing love and giving love. She was more a rough person. Yeah. And my dad, he was not mentally there. Yes. But later on, it's my dad I connect more with. Okay. So he's the guy I call. Okay. Like after this podcast, I'm going to call him. Dad, it went great, or, you know.
So, Dad, it went terrible.
Yeah, you fucking toasted me.
But you know what, that's very interesting. I didn't want to interrupt there, but so the story you said about you had like the nice house and everything, and then your family, the business went under. This is my exact story.
Oh, wow.
Like, I mean, the exact same. Really? Like, so when people, they ask me about, you know, kind of my upbringing and when I was getting started in life, it's just the exact same as that. We had a beautiful house in Dublin, you know, really nice. I went to a great school and everything, you know, no sob story here. No. But then my family separated, just like yourself. And it really has taught me how important family is. Yeah. It's kind of just sets your whole life really, and it teaches you everything. So my family, they separated. My 3 older sisters, they all went off and did their own thing into different countries, and then we had to rent the house out to different people. So it's like, I can't believe it's like the exact same story. And so people always say, like, because they say like, oh, I got a posh accent or something. Yeah. They're like, oh, Rob's had it easy. And I'm like, I definitely didn't have it hard. You know, there's a lot of people that have struggled. They're born in poverty, but I still started with, I remember I've worked in retail and I had €300 in my bank account. Oh, there you go. And I spent it on a camera. Yeah. And then I got on YouTube, and that is my story. Like, that is my start. So people always say to me like, oh, daddy's money, or, you know, your mommy's money, whatever. And I'm like, No, I'm like, at one stage it would have been, but then, you know, everything went to shit around 18.
But that's probably also why you can keep that momentum.
100%.
Because you know what you work for. Yes. It's so precious.
Yeah, and if like my parents or one of my friends just gave me a job, well, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I don't know. I'd be doing nothing.
You've been fighting for it, right?
Exactly.
I heard one guy said once, he said, the people who really makes it large in life, whatever their goals are, they spend 75% of their life creating themselves and 25% finding themselves.
Nice.
And I believe in creating myself, you know, because finding myself, well, who should I find? Yeah. Well, the future version of me.
Okay, so wait, on that, right? How does someone find their passion or their path in life? Wow. So it's a big question. And I've actually asked this to a few people this week, and everyone's got quite different answers, and some actually like got the opposite answers. So
that's a good question.
There's no right answer, but I want to hear what you got to say.
Well, I think it's like finding your passion. You know, if people start by finding their passion, I think they can go very wrong. I think you should probably find something out there you want to acquire or be, and then you'll try hundreds of ways. And suddenly you'll catch something that feels natural in you. You feel, okay, at this, I'm in a flow. Okay, I'm not good at it, but I like becoming better at it.
Yes, yeah.
Right? So it's the same thing when you are, to do a parallel. When I was a kid and I first got a Lego, castle or whatever it was, and I spent weeks on that shit. And, you know, I collected it wrong, and I did this and I did that. Yeah. And suddenly I figured out my passion wasn't Lego. My passion was building.
Nice.
You understand? Creating.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
But you don't know that as a kid.
No.
So I think finding your passion is more like trying to strive for improve. In everything you do, at some point you will catch a passion.
Yeah, and usually it's something that like you're good at, and because we all like what we're good at, and then we'll end up pushing it more. But the problem with that is that if you suck at it at first, some people, they just give it up straight away.
Yes.
And they don't kind of push themselves, and they could be missing out on their true calling in life.
Yes.
You know, it's like if I went to the gym and I didn't see results in the first 4 weeks, which I didn't, you know, and then I just gave up, I would never be, you know, working in the fitness industry and where I am now. So, you know, try a lot of different things, but don't like jump around too much to each single one, or else you might be missing out on the thing that you're really good at.
I think, you know, no matter what you do, if you just try to improve, then there you find the passion.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? There you find the passion for improvement. So the fitness industry, what I love about the fitness industry, it's a constant improvement.
Yeah.
Like it's like a never-ending story.
I think it's like pretty much the beginning of self-improvement. So you know, when you want to level up as a man, okay, right, we think money, relationships. The foundation for everything is fitness and your health. If you're not in good shape and healthy, everything else is actual bullshit.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the fitness industry, that's why I love it so much, because I genuinely think it's the most important thing in the world.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and so that's why I'm very passionate about it. But you did not start out in the fitness industry. You started out as something else.
Yeah.
Does the word Minto ring a bell?
Yeah, it does. It does.
So tell us about that. Am I correct in saying that was your first business?
That was my first business,
okay. All right, run us through that. How and why did you start it?
Great question. Yeah. In Denmark, you have you have the ground school, and then after that, you have something called gymnasium. Yeah. Which is a 3-year education until you're 17, 18, and then you go to university. Yep. And I was getting like really bad, what do you call that?
Grades. Yeah, me too.
Really bad. Yeah. And because I never really knew what should I use this for.
Yeah.
You know? And then I went into this gymnasium, which was a business orientated gymnasium. And the first year there was a competition called Young Enterprise, and that was where you could enter into competition in the entire Denmark, 5 million people. And there was like 900 groups that wanted to start a business, and we had to create a product, create an idea, and use everything we learned. And the first year I sucked. Yeah. You know, I was busy looking after the girls. Where's the party? And I played soccer, more interesting with my soccer. But then the second year, I got an idea where I said, listen, I was in Copenhagen sometimes, and every time I went to Copenhagen, I went into all these cool fashion shops, and I went to my home city. Everyone was wearing the same. Yeah. It was H&M. It was, at that time, no Zara, but the same kind.
No Zara.
That was
God forbid. Oh, no, what to do?
I didn't think it existed. And then I was like, wow, what if I can gather all the unique boutiques online? And this was in 2006, 2007. And at that time, we didn't buy clothing online because we were so worried. Will we get the right size?
Yeah, it was like ordering off like the fucking Silk Road.
Yeah,
it's like the black market.
And there was no
if a t-shirt turns up for that.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so strange.
So I went off the second year, and we did that business model, and we entered all these competitions, local, national, and we ended up becoming number 2 in Denmark.
Okay.
And that was when I first felt like a success. Wow, I'm good at something.
Yeah, and so wait, just to run me through like the customer experience, like how does the money hit your account from Minto? So like,
got it. Yeah, but this was the original idea, and I didn't touch it after that. We just won a competition.
Yes, yeah.
Then years passes on, and I moved to Copenhagen, and my childhood friend Conrad, he calls me. At that time, I was a nightclub manager. I was 21 years old.
I think we all were.
Yeah, you went?
No, I kind of worked in the nightlife industry. So sure, I used to work in Porta Banús, handing out flyers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, we all do a little stint in the nightlife industry.
Exactly. Well, that was a great job for me at that time. Yeah. And Conrad, he calls me and he said, Mike, that idea you won this lost the first place with, let's make that into a real business. Yeah. And I said, fuck yeah, let's do it. And we just decided to, invest all the money we had. We were 20. Yeah. All the money we had, take it along, and went straight at it. And the first half year, we were almost bankrupt. Like we spent, literally, we couldn't sign anyone. We spent all on marketing. Nothing worked. And the idea was to take a local fashion shop into an online market where people had access to it. Mm. So we were about to close down, but then I did a good job in this nightclub, and the owner of the nightclub, he invited me to Miami.
Okay.
This was in 2008.
Okay, now what age are you at this?
I was 21.
Okay, I was 21 Miami. That's man, it's a good time.
That was a good time. And he just checked out. So he was the co-founder or main investor of Just Eat.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Right. So he invited me there. He just checked out of Just Eat, and his lifestyle was a dream lifestyle.
Yeah,
he had all the cars I dreamt about.
Yeah.
He was in a great physical shape.
Oh, nice.
He was just a good role model. And after 10 days there, he says, Mike, do you want to start more nightclubs for me around the world? I said, no, I can't do that. I have a business that's almost bankrupt, so I need to figure out how to make that work. What is that business? And within 24 hours, they invested in us.
Okay, now how much did they invest?
But they stole the business.
There's going to be a good episode.
Yeah, no.
We're getting into it.
Into the dirty stuff.
It's like GTA.
But they also know I owe them everything because they taught me everything. But they invested 100,000 euros.
Yeah.
And they got 70% of the business.
Yeah, you know what? So like a lot of people have made investment offers to me for game plan, fuel cakes, just even like people have tried to buy my YouTube channel and which is essentially like trying to buy my personal brand, and they do a revenue share. I always say no. And God, I actually did initially. I did an equity share with Fuel Cakes.
Yeah.
And it was I gave away like 30% of it. It was the biggest fucking mess ever. So like when people it's not even listening. If people hear about like, oh, I really want investment. Oh, I want to get a loan.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope. You know, oftentimes you're better off just bootstrapping, which is just pretty much getting all your shit together and doing what you can instead of bringing external people in, because when you do that, you're getting into bed with someone.
Oh yeah,
you are like literally in a relationship with them, and that if you have a little falling out or anything, it goes to complete shit. So tell me the story, right? Okay, so they got 70%, and then how did it go sour?
But then it exploded.
Okay.
It literally exploded. So, and that's because they were like extremely respected. You know, Just Eat is a big business. And we did a Just Eat just for fashion.
Okay.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's a really good way to explain it.
Yeah. So we did a Just Eat just for fashion. And today Minto is doing 500 million euros a year. You know, it's a big business.
Do you still have this?
No, I sold it. I sold it too early. Even Playbook App, I sold it too early.
Yeah. I'll pay for the copies today, not in that case. And then, so, okay, you had another business as well, Ocast or...
Yeah, that was later on.
Okay, later on.
Yeah.
Well, what was that? Run me through that.
Yeah, so I stopped in Minto in 2016, and I had a great offer at that time. It was a dark time of my life because I've been living in 8 countries, traveling the world with Minto for 4 years.
Okay,
and I was burned out.
Yeah,
I was burned out. And then I went to Stockholm. I was living in New York at that time, and I went to Stockholm. But right before I went to Stockholm, I met Jeff Crayhill.
Okay,
from Playbook.
Yeah.
And we actually decided to start that business.
Yeah,
and we started that business together. And I was so in love with a Swedish girl. Yeah, and I was tired of chasing money. You know, and now I just felt like chasing love. That went like shit.
That's probably the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So I went down from 33% of shares in Playbook App to 3%. That was the deal if you quit the full time.
Okay.
So in Stockholm, I have a big debt I have to play because I didn't sell my shares in Minto yet, and I had like 450,000 in debt. And, you know, I even took a credit to pay my debts because in Minto, there was a period where we needed capital, and I needed to take a loan to follow the investment round, not to be diluted.
Yeah.
And I just took a loan. Yeah, 450,000. Great. Let me do it.
That would scare the fuck out of me, you know? Like, I've never taken a loan in my life.
No.
I think I would really do badly with it.
Yeah, but...
I would always, having that, like, over my head, it would freak me out, kind of. It's kind of against, like, Irish Catholicism.
It's very volatile.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
We're, like, even none of my Irish friends, we don't have credit cards. None of us use credit cards. I've never had a credit card in my life. The money goes into my account, and I either stack it or spend it.
Really?
Yeah. I've never had a credit card.
Oh, that's why you do so well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why that I'm like just very simple person. You know. Beautiful. So okay, you tell me, you take this loan.
I take this loan, and you know, years passes by, and I quit Minto. I didn't sell my shares yet. I do Playbook App, and I go back to Stockholm, and I have no money. I have a big debt. I'm heartbroken. I'm a mess. And I meet this guy. Actually, there was Wi-Fi on the flight, so I was like, I need something to do in Stockholm. So I text this guy called Erik Geserius, and he's an entrepreneur in Stockholm. I said, Erik, I have no idea what to do, but I need something. Oh, I have something. Okay, tell me about it. And I said, yeah, that's great. And I met with him in Stockholm, and that was in a totally new industry within the media industry. So his idea was to take traditional medias and take their media kits. You know, when you want to buy advertisement in magazines, or you want to do banner advertisement on a website, you need to go into their website to click on a little link saying advertisement, and then you get a PDF.
Yes.
And it's outdated. It's not even interactive. And Erik, he said, let's take all the media kits onto one platform so you can search what you want and you can place a bid.
Ah, nice.
That's a great idea. It's a marketplace.
Marketing agency almost, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we started that, and, you know, my salary was, what did I start with? I bought myself in for the last money I had, and my debt was not paid, and I was in almost minus. But I still bought myself in because I wanted to have a share of the company. And my salary was, €2,500 a month.
Okay.
You know, and I came from 15,000 a month from Minto.
And so how did you like adjust to that living? You know, because there's a different lifestyle. I actually heard, it's funny, it feels funny quoting him, but Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah.
He actually had I actually really like him. I think he's quite funny. People hate on him.
Yeah, I agree.
He had a really good quote. And he's talking about, it's talking about like the hedonic treadmill and how you're happy with what you're used to, but if you go down, it's terrible. But if you go up, you're setting this new standard. For example, if you have a Golf GTI or whatever, sorry to offend anyone who drives the Golf. If you're driving a shitty Golf, right? Okay. And then you get a Ferrari, you're going to be just so happy.
Yeah.
And then after the Ferrari, let's say you get like a one-of-a-kind Lamborghini Aventador, you know, you're going to be even happier. And so if you keep going up, you keep getting happier. But the problem is, if you go below that, you will be miserable. So like at one stage at the start, you would have been really happy with the Golf, but because you got a taste of the Ferrari, then you can't go back down. So I thought that was a very interesting point, and it's so true. Because like when you were starting out, you'd probably love 2,500 when you're like 18. You know, when you're like
that's
a
lot
kid.
of money because it's more than 500.
I started out on 1,800. Yeah. That was minimum wage in Ireland, you know, and I was so happy to even get that.
Yes.
But so how are you going from like, you know, 15,000 more to down?
I think I pulled back out my grit, my grind.
Yeah.
And I knew that I knew that I had it in me, and I said, you know what, fuck it. That's all I have, and I don't want to be an employee at somewhere. I want to be an owner. So my pride was more important to be an owner. Yeah. And that was my ticket in.
Okay.
And I knew that, you know, hard work pays off. So I just knew that I just need to sign 100, 200, 300, 400 customers within 3 years, which is a lot. Yeah. They had been fighting for 20 customers for 4 years. Yeah. But I was hungry. Yeah. And not only hungry, I was in danger. You know, you're in danger with your economy. Exactly. So you are dangerous when you come to that point.
When your back's up against the wall. Yeah. And, you know, so there's two situations in my life where I can remember I was like that. There was one where it was like 2017. I was just starting out and in YouTube, and like something happened. I think like the apartment that I was staying in, like it got sold. The owner sold it or something. I was renting it. Whatever happened, I had to move home for like 2 months. Yes. And it really felt really weird because I always had a nice apartment, and then I had to move home. And during those 2 months, I actually kind of loved it. Yeah. You know, I worked really hard, and then like I ended up getting an even sicker place there you go. After that.
That's your grind.
Yeah. Sometimes like when you go back, it catapults you forward.
That shows your character.
Exactly, right?
That shows what you're really made of. Yeah. And one of my very good friends, he's the early investor in Skype.
Casual.
Yeah, I met a lot of amazing personalities, and he always said to me, he said, Mike, when you have a lot of money, you're the worst. And it's true. Yeah. So when I started now, when I make money now, I pretend I don't have them. Yeah. Because I'm better on the edge. Yeah. Right? I'm more creative. I'm thinking out of the box, and that's what I do. So I took that old cost from 20 customers to 200 customers, and I even opened up in 3 other markets in 1 year.
Okay, nice.
Right, and now my salary was back, and now the offer came on Minto. I could pay my debt. Yeah.
Good feeling,
Good
man.
feeling, yeah.
It's like, it's weird. It's like just knowing that debt is on your shoulders.
That was a
it,
good
it would it would freak you out, you know.
Yeah, but looking back now, so the valuation I sold for was way below it was, because they knew that Mike has a loan, Mike has no money, and he has 3 months left until his credit line runs out. They knew it.
Yeah.
Business comes in. Conrad, my childhood friend, he just said, "I'm sorry, Mike. There's nothing I can do." And I cried. I said, "You was fucking kidding me." He said, "But this business." And I remember when I sold my shares, we had a promise. And when we started the business together, we said, we're going to buy an Audemars Piguet when we check out of this. So Conrad didn't check out. I got a shitty deal on the table, which was okay. It was a 2-digit number, million euros, right?
Okay, nice.
But it was still way below.
Yeah, of course. Which is always, you feel a bit cheaters.
And then, then I bought a shut the fuck up Audemars Piguet to myself. And I was like, I promised Conrad to buy the same. So I bought the exact same for Conrad.
No way.
I bought myself a 911 4S.
Nice.
And I took my car and I took the watch and I went to the office of Minto. I said, I always keep my promises.
The Terminator over here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. And then so after this, so for anyone listen, me and Mike were actually indirectly business partners.
Yeah.
Because I was with Playbook for a little while as well, using it to sell my training programs, a really good service. Tell me, we're on to business number 3 now. And before now, we'll get into the good stuff. But
no problem.
Business number 3 was Playbook, which there's a lot of people watching this will be in the fitness industry.
Yes.
They'll be trainers.
Yeah.
There are probably going to be a few people who are on Playbook watching this.
Yeah.
I know a few of my friends are who watch the podcast. So tell me, how did you get in with that crew and how did you start that? Now, this is what I'm really interested in.
Yeah, cool. No, it's a great story. So, when Minto was expanding, I was the guy who was the expansion manager. Yeah. So I was flying around in all the countries, and I ended up in America. I lived in Miami for 6 months and lived in New York for 1 year. And in New York, when you're alone and you just need to meet people. So I just went out and I met Jeff Crayhill. Yeah. And I loved him.
What club? What club did you meet him?
No, actually, it was... we were,
yeah, I'm like 11. It was 11, wasn't it?
PhD, I believe it was.
Okay, nice.
I believe it was.
Space, probably.
Some rooftop, high nose.
Oh, man, I might love Miami so much.
Yeah, no, this was New York.
Oh, this is New York. Okay, sick. Because I'm going to New York in 2 months.
Yeah, it's busy over there.
Yeah.
But it's great. So I'm being set up with Jeff Crayhill with a girl called Carissa. She said, Mike, you need to meet Jeff. And I met him and we just literally, it was like a bromance from day one. I love this dude. We both were reading self-development books. He was in a family office doing investments and, so many things. And he introduced me to New York.
Yep.
That was a wild period.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. My name is Jeff.
Yeah. And then we kind of split up. And at some point, I remember I was in Stockholm, and I was me and Jeff. We haven't spoken together for 2-3 years, and I'm in the bathtub, and I just came home from a workout, and I remember I saw this guy down in the gym, and his name is Akur Rahim. It's unbelievable physique.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh my God, I was just looking at him, and I just wanted to know what he eats, how he sleeps, how he breathes. I said, if I could just subscribe on this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, wait. Yeah. That was a good fucking idea, because that was the time where most of the fitness influencers didn't know how to monetize at that time.
Bro, I was selling a fucking PDF.
I knew that.
So there would be a group of lads in Dublin who would buy it and they just WhatsApp it to all their friends.
Yeah.
So I had to think of something as well, that would just be a subscription service almost,
Correct, yeah. But I'm not going to take the entire credit. So I came up with the initial idea, but the real magician here is Jeff. Jeff took it to where it is today.
Nice.
I was just the idea guy. And I called Jeff. I had a graphical designer that could quickly show what it was. I said, Jeff, do you want to start this with us? And he said, well, come to New York. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And I went there, and Jeff and I, we took it on together with Casper. And I was in New York for 3-4 months. And that's where it happened when I felt like going back home.
Yeah.
So I'm not, I'm actually not the guy who made Playbook App. That is Jeff.
Yeah.
But I came with the initial idea and so on. And Jeff took it to where it is today.
Okay. And so what was your role in Playbook? What percentage did you own, or were you a partner?
Yeah, I was the co-founder. So I went in with 33%.
Okay.
Me, Casper and Jeff, 33%. But because I left, you go down in percentage.
That's it. Yeah.
And then I was in need of money, so the last percentage I had left, I met a guy in Stockholm that was huge in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
Have you heard about Lenus?
Yeah, Linus.io. Yeah, they're massive.
So
they've contacted me a few times.
Oh, yeah. So
they're meant to be really good.
They're super good. I know Bertram, the co-founder and CEO. So the investor in Linus, he bought my shares in Playbook for candy.
Okay.
Because I was in need.
You see, you're always selling too low.
Wow, man. This time I'm not selling anything. Nada.
Taking it to the grave.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But here, and just while we're on the topic, of when I noticed when you said, I want to know his training and nutrition, the guy, what's yours like? Because, you're in insane shape. And that's something that I like to talk about on this podcast because it's very easy to get caught up in business talk.
Yeah.
And I think it's always like, I love asking anyone, what's their day-to-day training and nutrition look like?
Yeah, sure. So it was better 1 month ago. I let a little bit loose.
Okay. And by the way, for anyone listening on Spotify, Mike is in fitness model shape. Like he is insane shape.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
Rob Lipsett says that.
Rob's
I can stop the podcast right now. I'm happy.
We're done. Yeah. My guys.
No, but I'm very rigid in my habits. I wake up 5 a.m. First thing I do, I meditate. Then I visualize. Then I do stretching. Yeah. And I try to wait with my breakfast. I try to do fasting.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And I'm typical. I typically was in the gym around 6 a.m. right when my daughter was born.
Yeah.
But now, it's different. She's 6-7 months old, so I'm there at 10.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever you can go.
Yeah, whenever I can go.
Yeah.
I'm in the gym every day, or at least active every day.
Yeah, and I see him in there.
Yeah.
That's like
but I'm not taking my shirt off next to him.
I can verify it. He's in there every day.
Rob has a body fat in minus.
Not at all. Not at all. Not after that summer. But yeah, so you train. What type split do you follow?
So I literally do no split right now. I'm focusing on just upper, lower, upper, lower.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying, when I'm eating, I just know my macros. My first book is called Start with the Habits in Danish. I wrote my first book, Start with the Habits.
No way. Is it a fitness book?
It's a fitness book.
Oh, no way.
I did.
Nice.
And also a mindset book.
Yeah.
Because I had an online coaching business.
Yeah.
When I left Allcast, quick story. I left Allcast. I had enough money. Now I just wanted to follow my passion.
Yeah.
So I started an Instagram account and I called it Too Busy to Be Fit.
Nice.
Because everyone was too busy.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot that's like you're appealing to a certain demographic,
Correct.
a certain niche,
Yes.
It's like you see a lot of personal trainers and in their bio, they're like, I'm here to help fit busy moms.
Yes.
But
the more niche you can get,
that's what I'm trying to say.
The better it is until you become really a big brand,
exactly.
Right? So in that business, the first year we did 1.3 million euro.
Damn.
First year.
So for anyone listening, the amount of money you can make in the fitness industry,
my God.
like all my friends who are doing online coaching apps and YouTube they're all fucking millionaires.
But really, you got to live your brand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you don't live your brand, you're nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're nothing.
Yeah.
So which is also why my brand now, I train people in, reaching their goals.
Yeah.
I train people in how to design the dream life and so on. But anyway, so my fitness schedule is train every day.
Yeah.
I walk every day.
Yep.
I'm active all the time.
Yeah, easy to do in Marbella.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like
I just love when I would just walk around my neighborhood. I do a walk every evening. I'm just like, thank you, God. I'm literally just like, what the hell? This is so surreal.
Especially
looking at the, oh man, that's what me and Linda say. We're like, we are out of our depth here.
But how's the weather in Ireland? It's rainy and grey.
It's terrible. It's even worse than the UK. It is.
It worse than
yeah,
the UK?
it's a little bit further off, and it's fucking upside ice.
My God.
And man, it's freezing and it rains. This is actually the worst summer Ireland's had in 20 years.
Got it.
It's rain pretty much every day. So and that is such an impact on your day-to-day life, your mood, your mindset, your walks.
But that must be a driver for you as well to keep this lifestyle you have.
Massively.
You don't want to go back.
Massively.
Right?
That is literally, you've just said it. You've said it perfectly. And Alex Hormozy has the best quote ever. I love this when he goes, sometimes we need, something to motivate us to run towards, and sometimes we need something to run away from.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And actually the running away from is more powerful. AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs
spiraling out of control. It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing, and of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you do want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/gameplan. That's oracle.com/gameplan. Go check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Much more powerful.
Yeah.
But that's what drives people. That's what drives your ego. You have 3 brains.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
You have a conscious brain.
Yeah.
You have a subconscious brain. And you have your ego brain.
Oh, man, the ego gets its own brain.
But yeah, I'm telling you. So and the ego, all it wants is to have pleasure and avoid pain.
Yeah.
And, sometimes the pleasure gain is not enough. So you need to find the pains. I have a very good story. So I was coaching a mom.
We got time. Let's go.
Great. I was coaching a mom in my online program. I had 900 clients every month, but her I noticed, because I always took care of the special cases, the ones that was hardly motivated and so on. And my team took care of the rest.
Okay.
And she was gaining weight. She was gaining weight. And I said, okay, she's not checking in. She's not following protocol, but suddenly something happened. 1 week, boom. Next week, boom, down. And I could see she was committed.
Yes.
Her updates was fully committed. And she lost, I think it was in 3 months, she lost 12 kilos.
That's so much. Like
it's a lot.
That's like 30 pounds, 25 pounds.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So I called her and I had to ask her because I wanted to have that blueprint.
Yeah.
Because, I want to know.
Yeah.
And it's because if I can turn that into a business, that was great.
Yeah.
So she said, I'll tell you what happened, Mike. I was on the way to school with my daughter and I'm overweight. I've been failing in this and I feel like shit. And my daughter looks out the window and she says, and she sees another mom running next to her daughter on school. And she says, Mom, I wish that was you running with me.
Fuck. Oh my God. Imagine hearing your daughter say that.
I'm
that
getting
would
goosebumps now.
that would hit you in the soul.
So now everything changed in her. So her pain was not to live up to her daughter's role model.
Yes.
And that changed the game.
Well, so another amazing quote, and this is actually, it's probably one of my favorite ones, and it hits me the hardest. Hell is when you get to the gates of hell and you're shown the person that you could have been. Oh my God. That's hell.
That is
hell. It shows they hold up a mirror, God or whoever, Satan, whatever you want.
But that's so
they
true.
hold up a mirror and go, this is the person you could have been.
Yeah.
That's the most hard-hitting thing I can actually think of.
Yeah, it is.
Like and so that's what the mother saw.
That's what the mother saw.
She just saw the fit, healthy mom running around, and of course she can be that. And then she did.
And she did it for something bigger than herself, her daughter.
That's a wild one,
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
So my brain was always thinking, how can I trigger that in everyone? Yeah. So that's when I started working with mindset.
Yes.
And I find those trigger points in people and I make them run.
Perfect. Oh, this is running smooth. This is perfect. So now, okay, right. Bring me on to that. What are some basic, let's say someone comes and they want to improve their overall mindset, their mood. What are some of the first things that you would do?
Yeah. So first thing I would do, I would literally ask people, what do you want more of in your life?
Yeah.
Like, just tell me everything you want more of.
Yes.
And when they say it first time, you can literally feel that they have so many limiting beliefs that they don't aim so high.
Yes.
Because if they don't know how to do it, they don't dare to dream about it.
Yep.
So I just make them make a list, and it's the process. You have to open people up.
Exactly, and it's all very. I'd say every case is quite different when you're working with someone.
Definitely.
And so one thing that I started doing maybe like 3 years ago is doing like one-on-one fitness coaching. Because usually I would just do it through apps and ebooks and YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But in about kind of like after the pandemic, I started doing I would take on 20 guys, and I work with them one-on-one, and everyone had a different motivation.
Yes.
It was all completely different. It was like, you just have to sit down and have a chat, really.
Definitely.
And be like, what's your motivation? Why did you sign up to this program?
Correct.
Why do you want me as your coach?
Yes.
And then you kind of get to the bottom of it and you go from there.
Yeah, correct. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And we always want more of something and less of something. So I make them go through that exercise and I help them a little bit. And it could be everything from, I would like to have more time for journaling. Could be that. I would like to have, and then you have some people, I would like to have a Ferrari. It's different. Well, you just need to get to that path. And then the next exercise I give them, of course, there's many ways to go, but it's also, tell me what's draining you in your life at home and at work. Make a list. And tell me what gives you energy in your life at home and at work. So they make that list. And after that, because, when you want to work with people's mindset, you have to understand we humans, we are unconscious incompetent.
Yes.
We don't know that we don't know.
Yeah, true.
Right? So
yes, that is fucking. It takes a minute to get that, but we don't know that we don't know. We don't realize it. Yeah,
we don't know. We don't know. So how can you know what to improve when you don't know that you don't know what to improve? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to move people really quick from unconscious incompetent to conscious incompetent.
Yeah.
So what I do, I take them through an exercise where I make them to rate themselves in different areas of their life. Could be their relationships, it could be their finances, their career, their spirituality, their physical shape, and so on and so on. And I say, in all these areas where 10 is the dream, and 1 is absolutely shit. Tell me where you are now.
Yeah.
They start to rate themselves. And after that exercise, I say, all right, you need to be at a minimum on 8 on every area.
Yeah.
So now tell me, what area would you like to improve in first?
And you do it like one at a time?
You take the one that will have the greatest impact first.
Yes, yeah.
So now, you get them on a track, and then I ask them to say, all right, brainstorm everything, because people we already know.
Yeah.
Like I believe we have an inner greatness. So, for example, let's say that you are a person and you are overweight. Now you go into a chocolate shop. But there has already been a voice inside of you saying, don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I call the little woman from Philadelphia. This is a great story. Okay, I'll give...
A woman from what?
Philadelphia. Listen.
Okay, Philadelphia.
Are you ready? So, the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
The old movie. So a horse carriage, you have a driver from the wagon, horse wagon.
Yeah.
And you have 5 ropes and 5 horses. And in that wagon, you have a little woman from Philadelphia, nicely dressed.
Yeah, okay.
Looking like a little princess.
Nice.
You see it for you?
A little Western hottie,
Correct. Now, let's take this into a imaginary parallel or metaphor. So the horse wagon symbolizes your body. The driver is your intellect. The ropes is your emotions. And the horses is your 5 senses. Your smelling, your seeing, your hearing, and your feeling, and your tasting.
Okay.
All right. And in the wagon, the little woman from Philadelphia, that's your higher self.
Okay.
So I've seen a man, 150 pounds, being persuaded from a little taste bud, weighing less than an ounce, right? Running like a wild horse into the baker shop to buy everything that will kill him. That will kill him.
Yeah.
But he's a slave for his senses.
Yeah.
And here is the little woman from Philadelphia. She's sitting in there, but the driver and the intellect is dead.
Yeah.
And she says, no, don't buy that. You need to eat more veggies, drink more water, do this. And I've seen the same horses running into a bar, making people drink alcohol, sniff cocaine, take ecstasy. And if we don't get the control over our driver in that seat, our intellect, we will always be running from our senses.
Man, that's a powerful one. Like, that's what you said there as well about like the slightest thing can like set a man off uncontrollably. So how would you say to someone to become more disciplined in their life? As that's something that I get asked a lot. This is the classic thing of motivation versus discipline and all that. Yeah. And the answer is always, to be more disciplined.
It is.
So how would you tell someone or how would you advise someone to become more disciplined?
It develops self-awareness.
Okay. Oh,
That's
nice.
the first step.
Okay.
Self-awareness. Become aware. Because if you don't know that you don't know, you screw it. Right? You think that it's just perfectly normal to go and buy chocolate cakes and so on.
Yeah.
So self-awareness, and then start to use your willpower. Right? Discipline willpower. So your willpower you have at all times. So start small. Right? But you have to start to paint a picture of who you want to become, because if you don't have this mental picture of where you want to go, it's hard to say no to something. So instead of saying no, I teach people to say yes to that.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, you know what? So I actually, I read the book Atomic Habits.
Yes.
There's a really good point in it. And it said you have to identify as the person you want to be. So I'm not a smoker. You know, if you're trying to quit smoking, you have to tell yourself, I'm not a smoker. Or if you're trying to become fit, you have to say, I'm a fit person.
Correct.
And this is how I would act.
Your self-image.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you're it's kind of a more positive way of saying no. You know, you're saying yes. Yes, I'll go to the gym, you know.
But you need to have that. So I make people describe the absolute best version of themselves. I make them do auto-suggestions and talk to themselves like the best version of themselves, because it's proven you are a result of your most dominating thoughts.
Yeah.
So if you immediately wake up in the morning and your inner voice says you're fat, you're dumb, you're a loser, you'll go out into the world like that. So you need to take the control by starting, just like a Hollywood actor. You know, have you ever heard, Jim Carrey?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
of course you heard about him.
Yeah.
But, he has been out saying, listen, I need psychotherapy and I need hypnotherapy to get back to Jim Carrey. And there was a time where he couldn't find back to Jim Carrey. They really lived themselves into that role so much that they changed the entire system. And he said, when I found back to Jim Carrey, I figured he had a fucking depression.
Yeah.
That's
He's had a tough life, Jim Carrey. He's always kind of, I think he's been suffering a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's
wait, question for you. Have you ever done therapy?
Yes. I'm doing it right now.
Oh, really? Where? In Marbella?
Yeah.
I'm
doing it online.
Doing it online. Yeah. Now, that's apparently... That's kind of a better way to do it now, because you find a therapist that's more suited. A therapist in Marbella probably fucking needs therapy themselves. Find them down in Port of News. Be like, yeah, I'm a therapist.
But if you don't know that you don't know, you're screwed.
Exactly. Yeah. And so what, because I want to start getting therapy as well, something I want to do. A lot of my friends do it, and they say it's all amazing. Yeah. And so, what do you talk about when you're doing your therapy sessions?
Yeah, right now I'm diving into my inner child that has been lacking a lot of love and so on and so on. So I'm trying to find my little child and give him the love that he didn't get when he was little Mike.
Yeah.
So I'm doing psychotherapy. I'm doing trauma therapy. I'm going all in.
Nice.
Yeah. I had a spiritual awakening 1 year ago. I was actually on a beach down here in Marbella.
No. Oh, that's my beach. That's the beach I walk to every day.
Can I come to your beach?
Yeah, you can come. Yeah, I'm like, that's my beach. No, but that's it. I walk down every day because it's like 10,000 steps. I walk down and I just look at the sea, and it's literally.
He's a fitness guy when he says this 10,000 steps.
10,000 steps. I'm like, I don't measure things in kilometers. No. I measure things in steps. Yeah. I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. That should be about 20 steps. That's literally. I'm like, gotta go to my car. I need more steps.
It's only 7 steps.
Yeah, so you're down in Mistral.
So I was there, and the day before I had an 8-hour treatment from energy healer, a body therapist, and I was going in Denmark, and I flew back home the same evening, and I'm on that beach, and suddenly I get this panic attack. It's just coming to me. I'm getting, as my girlfriend was next to me, right? And I'm laying there, and I'm not saying anything because, I don't want to be a weak man.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, man.
Just getting this panic attack. But there was something in me that just said, just let it come. Because normally if you get an anxiety or panic attack, you kind of resist it, right? And it gets worse. But something in me was ready. And I just let it go. And then, boom, my ego died. I experienced an ego death on the bed. On Mistral.
Fuck, because I'm going crazy. Tripping out the mushrooms.
Yep. Brent just thought I was crazy. I said, Brent, I can understand everything. I started talking, and I said, oh my God, I can see my emotions. It was like my ego was a little troll in front of me.
Yeah.
And I could see, wow, he's missing so much love. So when I had that, after that, I started my journey, and I've been going to this specialist and this specialist. So I'm a work in progress.
All right. And have you, just while we're on topic, have you ever done any mushrooms or hallucinogenics? What's it called? Ayahuasca?
No, I would love to do that.
Yeah, me too. I've never done it, but I've done mushrooms. I caught a good few times. Well, not like loads of times.
No.
Like a few. Yeah, I've experienced it, and you trip balls and everything. Yeah. But I've never had any like profound experiences.
No.
But I would like to try out ayahuasca.
Oh, that's the rough one.
Yeah, that's meant to be crazy.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'd like to try that.
Yeah, when I was in Tulum like 2 years ago, there's like these little signposters that advertise like, hey, come to our ayahuasca camp.
Really?
And I'm like, yo, Linda, yo, do you want to go hit up an ayahuasca camp? And we're like, we were really considering it.
Really?
And then we were like, let's leave it out. So I'd see Linda, I'd look at her, she like grows a beard or something, and I can never look at her again. Like I'd be freaked out, you know.
No, it's not gonna be like that.
Do it, but maybe next time we go back to Tulum.
One of my very good friends. He's probably the perfect icon of a perfect man.
Yeah.
He did ayahuasca.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, and he said that was the most mind-blowing experience ever. So I would like to try it, but
me and you will try it. Apparently, there's a camp in Marbella. Dorian Yates told me about it.
Really? I wasn't there.
Yeah, I know.
I need to go to South America or something. It's the jungle.
So we're nowhere near Villa Lipsett.
Yeah.
Like if I saw my house on ayahuasca, I would never be able to sleep there again.
No.
Like these walls are closing in on me. Oh my God, I would lose my shit.
Yeah, but let's look for. We can look for a place. I know there are some amazing places over where they make sure that you are totally clean eating. You're prepared.
Yeah, you gotta like fast for 3 days and stuff.
And if you're on any medication, whatever it is, you gotta be clean inside.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's very interesting. So now, right, we need to go on to your book, Above Average. It's not out yet.
No.
But to fill us in, what made you write it, and what's the general gist of it?
It's a funny story. So my marketing team, they said to me for 6 months ago, 7 months ago, Mike, we need a new lead magnet, which is something to drive in leads to our business. Can you write an ebook? Sure. So I started, and I said, I need something that can really create value.
Yeah.
So I started writing, and I started writing, and before I was looking around me, I had 20,000 words, and I said, that's not an ebook.
Yeah,
that's legacy.
That's a book.
That's a book.
Yeah.
And the reason what made me write it was because I'm coaching a lot of people in reaching their goals in life.
Yeah.
And I'm coaching a lot of people to develop the best version of themselves. And you can use different platforms. You can use fitness as a platform, or you can use career as a platform.
Yeah.
There's many platforms to use it from. And I've just seen how people have limiting beliefs. I've coached people from 0 to 100. So I wanted to write a book where I was literally in your face.
Yeah.
Like in your face.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, instead of calling it How to Get Success, I've been living with so many people like you. You are what I categorize as an above average mindset.
Yeah.
Right? And you're not born like that.
Yeah, no.
Because you're born like a clean sheet of paper. So you have developed your mind.
Yeah. And
you have taken steps. You might not know what it is, but if you look back, if I force you to look back, you have constantly chosen development.
Yeah.
Constantly chosen improvement.
What started me was, which completely changed my life. I used to actually be super negative when I was in school and failing everything. Wow. And I discovered the law of attraction. Yeah. And that's what just completely changed my mind. Just visualization. And when I started, so if I wanted something, I would just act like it's already done.
Yes.
And I would replay it, the scenario that I wanted to happen so many times in my head. I mean, I would play it every 5 seconds in my head to the point that it's the only thing I can think about. And I swear to God, I would see, it was like deja vu.
Yes.
That reality would end up happening.
Wow.
So that's what changed my life completely is visualization, replaying the scenario that you want to happen in your head, brainwashing yourself, positive thinking, law of attraction, and this shit works. There's no question about it.
But listen, the oldest, so that's what my book is about. It's literally, I've taken the law of attraction into actionable steps together with productivity, together with everything you need around it. Because there's many people sitting and they think I can manifest my dreams. No, you gotta fucking move. It won't drop on your doorstep.
Yeah.
But the reason why people don't move is because they don't believe they can. And law of attraction will get you on that frequency where you just know it.
Yeah.
You get a knowing, right? And when you have a knowing, you just do. There's an old saying what I hear, I forget.
Yeah.
What I see, I remember, but what I do, I know.
Yeah, that's the only way to learn, really.
Right? And you can, but just by visualization, you can trick your mind to believe you already did it.
Yeah.
Because when you have an emotion and a thought combined, your subconscious mind doesn't know if that's reality or not. Yeah. That's why you are shitting yourself when you take on virtual reality and you're standing on this 200 floors.
Yeah.
Your mind is like, oh my God, I want to fucking fall.
Yeah, I know.
So that's what it is.
Yeah, and then also for anyone listening, you got to be extremely careful because the opposite works the same way, if not even stronger. Yeah. Like if you have these negative thoughts and you're replaying the worst scenario that can happen, it's extremely likely it's going to happen. So you need to learn how to pretty much train yourself, to default. We're all going to have negative thoughts, bad thoughts will slip in. You got to train yourself to snap out of it.
Exactly.
You kind of got to bitch slap yourself and take a step back.
But the reason why it's so different, I can actually tell you, so they've come really far in all the science, right?
Okay.
But science has become the new religion, which I believe is sad, because, what science didn't know 50 years ago was still fucking true. Now they just figured it out.
Yeah.
So, but what really makes the difference, Rob, is your emotions. When you are feeling an emotion, you are vibrating. That's the frequency.
Yeah.
Your emotions is your frequency. So a repetitive thought will create an emotion. So you got to think about what you think about.
Yeah.
So if you are constantly repeating thoughts that makes you feel guilt, shame, fear, now you're vibrating that frequency that will attract it.
Do you know, apparently, the word you said there, shame, apparently that's the lowest vibration possible. Apparently that's like the worst feeling a man or a woman can feel.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So, when you start to train to think and feel differently, well, you start to vibrate on a different frequency. But many people, they don't have, like you say, okay, I get negative thoughts, I need to change my focus. That's what you said.
Yeah.
But if people don't know what to focus on.
Yeah.
So what you did, you imagined what you wanted. Now you have something to put your focus on. Because people don't think they can change their thoughts. Well, I have a quick experiment. So think of a black car.
Done.
Okay. You cannot think of a Coca-Cola.
I'm literally picturing a Coca-Cola with wheels.
Right.
Like driving along.
So, and that's what people don't understand. But you could change from a car. But I said, don't think of a Coca-Cola. But you thought of a Coca-Cola. Yeah. What people, they think is that I do not want that. I do not want that. I do not want that. Please don't happen. Please don't. That's wrong.
Yeah, and that's
you gotta.
You're putting it
what
in
do you
your
want?
head.
Yeah. That's the only thing your brain understands. All right.
Perfect. All right. Awesome. So before we had a little power outage, that was a first.
Yeah.
But we were breaking down the four parts of the book. So just start again. Just
got it. Okay. Yeah. So the first part is about the power of your subconscious mind, because what people like the way we believe we are is who we are going to act as.
Yeah.
And that is your belief system, which is your subconscious mind. So whatever you believe, you will act as.
Yeah.
So that's proves Hollywood actors sometimes they can't find back to themselves because they believe they're that new character. So I teach people the techniques of reprogramming their belief system, right? Yeah. And after that, I'm talking about personal power. I say you have the power to change your emotions and your thoughts. And the third part is how to structure yourself up, like how to set goals, all these things. So it's a manual. And the fourth part, because I've read so many books and I need a process. Like I could tell you how to bake a lasagna, but if I don't give you the recipe, you're going to be fucked. Yeah. Like if it's a real advanced one, right?
Yeah, if it's a nice one.
Like we're talking.
No microwave meals, it's like a proper lasagna.
Microwave is a one-stop shop.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fourth part is what I call the above average method. And I guarantee, and I know this sounds crazy, but I guarantee everyone who follows that method thoroughly, not just half-ass shit, thoroughly, you will get everything you want in your life.
Get everything
with time.
Okay.
Like I guarantee you that.
Well, what's like the core principle of the method? What's like the main
core
thing?
principle is you said it. Yeah. You have to visualize it.
Yes.
And you have to believe you're getting it.
Yeah.
So that's the core principle.
Yeah.
And then start to take small actions towards it.
Yeah. You know what I love for goal setting? And so you get this is why I actually call my app like game plan. And my pro game plan. So you reverse engineer. You get the end first. So like where you want to be. And then you work back from that on the shit you got to do to get there. Because if you actually do it, like if you just start trying to get there and throwing shit at the wall, you're going to be left, right, and everything. But it's like think about it and visualize it on a screen. So you're here at this point.
Yes.
And then once you figure out this point, it's a straight line.
Correct.
But if you're trying to find this point randomly, you're going to go left, right. It's going to be like a zigzag.
Correct.
So I think the best thing you can do with setting goals is to kind of work backwards, and figure out what you want first.
And I totally agree. You're spot on. And the challenge is for people setting goals, we only set goals within our paradigm. So we only set goals within what we think we're capable of. Don't.
Yeah.
You need to set. You need to have no fucking clue how to get there, because seriously.
Yeah.
Because if you have no fucking clue how to get there, you are now breaking your paradigm, right? And you will develop into a person that think different.
Yeah.
So I always teach people to set A goals, B goals, and C goals. A goals is like, tomorrow I'm going to buy some toilet paper. Yeah. I'll buy some milk.
Yeah.
And B goals is that, okay, in 1 year from now, I'm going to do this, and that's something I can do. A C goal is the one to the fucking moon.
Yes, the big one.
Right? I want to be a multi-millionaire, have a sick, big brand within fitness.
Yeah.
And that you need to have. Right? And that's the one you need to visualize on, because the rest becomes easy.
Yeah.
So I come from nothing. Literally, you come from nothing.
Yeah, well, I started, I started with like no savings or anything. Like,
yeah. And you
like
worked your way
7
up.
figures,
But everything started with an idea.
Yeah.
And you started to believe in it because you started to take an access towards it, right? And the more you went, the bigger it got. And now nothing can stop you.
Exactly. So one of my first ever, I think it's like my first ever Q&A, third ever YouTube video, someone was asking me like, hey, where do you want to go with this channel? Like, why are you watching this? And I'm in this shitty shared accommodation and I'm so young, and I'm wearing strange clothes as well. And like, zero fashion sense. And I was saying like, I just want to be, get as far as I can get in the fitness industry and get as many people, guys especially, into the gym, lifting weights.
Beautiful.
And tracking their macros. And that video is so important to me. And like, I often go back and watch my first ever videos. Yeah. And it's crazy. But like, I know I was like, kind of just starting out and didn't have a clue, but I also did know what I wanted. Yeah. And so I had that clear goal. Yeah. And so some people are like, they ask me like, hey, did you know you were going to like end up, doing well? And I did and I didn't, I knew exactly what I wanted and I believed I could get there, but I was still humble about it, and I was like, it's going to require a lot of work. So it's kind of like it's a little bit of both,
That's the same. I've been building my brand in Denmark.
Yeah.
And I just knew, I always knew, I'm going to be something in the world. Yeah. Like I'm going to be a big inspiration, teaching people to, self-improvement. And, suddenly, remember, I met you in the barbershop.
Yeah. That was when I first came here.
Right? I met you there. And I was like, I know Rob, I've seen Rob. I'm like, fuck it. Hey man, I'm not. What's up, motherfucker?
No, you have such good energy as well. When you like woke up someone, just like always in a good mood, smiling, laughing. This just larger than life guy coming up to the barber. But I remember that so clearly. That's so strange. That's when I like first moved here. Things were like half closed, half open. Everyone was wearing the masks.
Yeah.
But that was like, I remember actually like going up and telling Linda, I was like, I just met this guy. He's the founder of an app I've been using for years. And I was like, we're in the right place,
wow.
And that's when I started meeting loads of people in Marbella, and everyone's so friendly here.
Everyone.
It's like not, people think fast cars, yachts, prostitutes, brass. It's like
it has everything.
It has everything. But they think it's just that, but you actually will meet like the most friendly, down to earth people ever.
I believe, you become what you intend. Mm-hmm. So there's a difference from goals and intentions.
Yeah, and you'll find whatever you want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you go to Marbella and you want to live the fitness life, see swims every day, lifting outside in the sun, eating like the freshest Spanish food, like in the sun, you can have that. And then if you want to like fucking stay up for 3 days and go to clubs and beach clubs, you can have that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's why people get lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's right at your footstep, right? Yeah.
Was there ever a stage in your life like where you were like just partying way too much and just going out of control?
Yes.
Okay, and how did you, first of all, did you enjoy it? And second,
yes.
Yes. No regret.
Yeah.
So how did you pull yourself out of that as well?
Good
Because
question.
I think like I definitely have went through some phases where I was going out too much and not being true to myself.
Correct.
And I'd like to hear how you like pulled yourself out of that.
So I'll take you back to Stockholm. I was living there and I sold my shares in Minto and I got a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a 2-digit euro million amount is a lot of money.
That's like
when you come from fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And at that time I've been building my network. I've been meeting some really great entrepreneurs, but they were filthy rich and they had really, really wild habits.
And you got pulled in.
I got totally pulled in. No, actually, I pulled them in.
Yeah. I was the puller.
I'm not going to be an angel.
Yeah.
So I went into that environment and, weekend after weekend, private jet there. It was Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, yeah.
That's
exactly.
what it was.
Yeah, it's the same shit,
It's the same.
You're doing the same stuff. Yeah.
And, it was abusing everything.
Yeah.
Abusing your workout, abusing your work, abusing your money, abusing,
your system, your body.
System, everything.
Yeah.
And there was a turning point where I woke up, and I remember very clearly after a party, and I just couldn't look myself in the mirror.
Fuck.
I was just like,
that's a heavy one.
Yeah,
man. That's a good thing.
I didn't fucking like what I saw.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided to pull out. And 6 months later, I moved here.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the party scene like in Stockholm?
Oh, fuck.
Must be pretty heavy,
The parties, listen, the Stockholm people, they love to party.
Yeah.
They love to party. And, it's a lot of beautiful blonde women.
Oh, well, that's the home of them.
Yeah. It's like you have Brazil.
Yeah.
And you have Stockholm.
Yeah, you have Sweden.
Sweden, sorry.
Yeah. The country of Stockholm.
And
the Republic of Stockholm.
But they love going out, and they're so open.
Yeah.
Like, I'm from Denmark, and I'm not even Danish because I lived 15 years of my life abroad.
Yeah.
When I came there, invitation without small talk.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Well, when you look like Mike, it's a different story. Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of partying in Stockholm. Dublin's kind of the same. Like, I definitely find it easier to stay in Marbella because I'm like, you have something to wake up for the next day. You're like, I want to go for a walk.
Correct.
I want to go for a hike.
The weather is always there.
The weather's there. It's going to be 35 degrees. I want to go for a swim. Whereas in Dublin, it's like raining. You're like, it doesn't matter if I'm hungover.
No.
Like, it fucking doesn't matter.
No.
So I might as well just go out and get pissed.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the same in Stockholm.
Yeah,
and when the summer comes, they've been hiding inside their homes for so many months.
So everyone goes crazy.
They go fucking crazy.
Oh man, you'd want to see Ireland in a heat wave. It's like declared a national holiday. Like when it goes up to, I think maybe like once a year, it goes up to like 28 degrees. Always once for like 3 days. And I mean, people are jumping in the river. People are good, like falling around the streets. No one goes to work, even if it's like a fucking Wednesday.
Really?
Like it's crazy because we never get it. So people go nuts. And that's why also when you see like Irish people like in Magaluf or Ibiza or here. I'd say with English people.
Let's leave this place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're in full tourism mode. So you looked yourself in the mirror and you didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it.
That's how you pull yourself out.
Yeah, I started to get some different thoughts on my life.
Yeah, and Joe, what keeps me from like going off the rails is I love fitness so much. And if I ever like see my physique going to shit, or I see like, I'm looking fucking skinny fat, or I go into the gym and I'm feeling really weak, I'm like, oh, well, that's not worth it for me.
No, correct.
So it's kind of like a vain narcissistic way to do it, but it works for me, like fitness stops me from just going off the rails because I'm a crazy guy. I love to party and go out, but I love fitness more.
I think it's deeper than that. I think you have one of your values is integrity.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very true to myself, and I would never, for example, just with this channel or with even like my social accounts or friends and family, I would just never promote anything that I genuinely wouldn't use.
And that is so visible.
And I've been doing this now for 10 years, and not once in 10 years have I ever sold my soul or even like said something that like isn't true or anything. Correct. I've always been very honest and have that integrity. So thank you. I appreciate it.
So that's, I think, so that's what you find also, so you can prove yourself in fitness, right?
Yeah.
So integrity for me, I lost my integrity, and that was very painful.
Yeah.
So, and now, I feel I started just now.
Yes.
I'm 38.
Okay, nice. I was about to ask. I didn't even know the age. I'm 32.
Yeah.
So it's we're still right in that 30s.
Yeah, exactly.
But people think that when you hit your 30s, well, especially as a man, people think when you hit your 30s, you're like, well, your life's over. As a man, you're only getting started. That's like, men only have a fucking clue what they're doing at like 35.
No,
they only become like men at 35.
Oh,
like when I see pictures of me at 22, I look like a baby. I'm like, I wouldn't fuck me. I'd be like a child.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Honestly, is that
That's
like
true.
I look so young, and so guys think like, and I'm getting into relationships now as well. Guys think like, oh, I got to get a girlfriend so early, or why am I getting
mentality?
Exactly, but guys like wait till you're a little bit older, and you'll really become yourself.
You have your frontal cortex as a man, right? It's not even grown together until you turn 28.
Yes, yeah. That's it. It's 28.
So that's where you start to become a little deeper.
Yeah.
You start to ask yourself
I
questions.
noticed that as well.
Yeah.
I noticed like around 28, that's always kind of the year you figure it out. And so with relationships, you mentioned a lot of Swedish girls.
Yeah.
You got Brenda as well. So, run me through what's your, where you currently are with that, and like how would you attract if you're a guy and you want to get in a good relationship? How would you go about that?
Wow, it's a good question. First of all, I would seek to love myself first.
Yes,
because if you are, so we are many people who has insecurities at some point in our life, right? And equal attracts equal. So I believe we should. What I'm trying to do in my life, instead of searching for a relationship where I'm craving something that person can give me, I need to be able to give myself that first. So instead of coming into a relationship to take, I just want to go in and give.
Yeah. And I think that's, as a man, that's even more important. I'm quite old school.
Yeah.
I think that the man should be like the provider, and I think generally that's going to lead to like a happier relationship as well.
Absolutely. I believe that too. But there will be times when the man, as a provider, like I've been there. So that's when I say that is because I'm kind of saying there will be times.
Yeah, there's just.
I know a friend.
Same what?
I know a friend.
yeah. I know a guy.
Yeah. Where you kind of you lose everything, or you risk everything, or you are low, or you change path and so on. And at that time, you need to just have a partner that supports you. Because I'm telling you, as a man, if you don't have a woman behind you that really loves you for who you are and not for what you provide, then you have a problem.
Yeah.
So, when you, like Connor, I don't know the story of his relationship, but it looks amazing. Like, she is what I've heard and seen in media, but you can never tell.
Yeah.
She's there.
Yeah.
And she makes him stronger. I'm sure she's half his success.
Yes.
No, I mean,
no, 100%.
yeah.
Like, for
and
sure.
that's what you need that.
Yeah.
So I would say what I've learned, going out and getting all this one night stands, I'm done with that.
Interesting.
It's nothing for me.
Yeah, I had like a period in my life where maybe 3 years period where I was like single and going on loads of dates. Yeah, fun for a little bit, but it just gets chaotic. And a lot of men will say like, oh, they want to just go out and fuck bitches. Yeah. Trust me, like you get sick of it, just chasing girls around. You lose yourself. Yeah, like, having had like one good girl to just support you, be your cheerleader, that is
and
just
grow together.
Exactly, that's invaluable. And so tell me, right? Speaking of growing together, what's the next chapters of Mike's life looking like?
Oh man, so I'm far from finished. I have a little daughter. She's 6 months old, and mother and I wouldn't say we're split up. We're best friends, but we've had some things we need to sort out. Yep. And we love each other very much, so we're working on it together.
Yeah,
right now.
Good man.
Yeah. So for me right now is to literally focus on just being the best version of myself at all times. Yeah. In my business, in my relationships, as a father, as a son, as everything. And you can't handle all the areas at one point. And when I go, and let me just say third person. When I go into that era of my life, I realize that so many areas of my life I have not really nurturized. So that's where I am now. I'm 38 and I'm just pulling in water all the places where I need to do it. But it starts by pulling in water on myself. Yeah. Right. So that I'm going to therapy, I'm meditating, I'm reading spiritual books, I'm going crazy.
Good shit, Yeah, and you're really going after your personal brand at the moment. I'm going
super
hard on that.
My YouTube channel. That was actually I was inspired by you.
Yeah,
yeah, really.
Yeah, man.
Super. You remember
that? Yeah, I remember you said it to me, and then you did it.
Yeah, I'm going.
People that say to me, "Rob, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Rob, I'm going to start making podcasts." That's it. Nothing. No upload. No, not one. You know. Yeah, because people can't handle getting 100 views on their first video.
It's frustrating
because it doesn't matter, everyone starts there.
And you gave me that. I remember I asked you, what's the blueprint? And you gave me some good advices and so on. But also, you said it, and David How to Be said it, and he said 100 videos.
Yeah.
First milestone, 100 videos.
100 videos.
And that got stuck in my mind, 100 videos.
Yeah.
You know, and Gabriel, who's sitting in the studio as well, my video guy, I just told him, let's get to 100 videos.
Yep.
Let's get to 100, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and so it's also super satisfying. That also works on any platform. Like you can do like 100 posts, 100 reels, whatever it is. It works on everything. Then when you do the 100 and then you sort most popular. There's a little tab. It's on every social media. You sort most popular. You just look at the top 10.
There you have it.
But then we do 10 more of them.
Correct.
And it's super satisfying as well because a lot of times by default, if your videos are all right, you'll actually get 10 bangers in there, like with really, you know, solid views, you know, and it's very satisfying to see. But it's interesting. It's like, it's just about showing up. Like anyone can literally do it.
But okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go on, hit me.
So how do you figure out what to say?
Yeah,
because I see you producing content.
Yep.
Like you're a machine.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're in the pool talking good advices. Then you're there talking good. I'm like, he always looked fucking good and say something smart.
No, there's a lot of takes. There's a lot of editing. But so my advice there is, so I got this from Jordan Peterson, is just speak about what you know. Okay. So when I'm actually public speaking, you know, I do a lot of talks. I'm actually doing a TEDx talk in a few months in Prague. Yeah, my second one, so I'm excited for that. And when I go up on stage, you know, I'm doing actually another talk in Ireland next month as well on fitness. When I go up on stage, I don't prepare. I don't have I have a few key points I want to hit, but I don't have a script. Wow. I just speak about what I know. And usually what I know is fitness, fucking training and nutrition. I can answer any question about that because it's what I love. I can also talk a lot about mindset and social media and a little bit about online business as well. But so literally just speak about what you know.
Got it.
That is it. So you don't even have to think. You don't have to make a plan. You don't have to do research. You just go speak about what you know.
But for example, okay, good example. Now I remember that I saw a video.
You know everything about starting a company. Yeah. And like you could just, as you just did. Yeah. You know, you could just answer a question without even hesitation.
Correct.
So just think about like, what do you know how to speak about? What's your life experience? Yeah. And if you haven't got that life experience, you know, maybe you're like fucking 17 or something. Just go live life for a while, you know?
Yeah, correct. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, so that's it.
Good.
Yeah, but here, look, tell the people where they can find you and when we can get your book as well. Yeah,
sure. Okay, yeah, well, my Instagram, Mike Radoor.
Yeah.
My YouTube channel, Mike Radoor. Would love if you guys subscribe.
Yeah, everyone go hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously.
I'm actually documenting my life. Yeah. So I changed the format. So I'm filming every day into a weekly video where I'm documenting my journey from a Danish to a global brand.
Nice.
And my book will be out the 8th of October in 15 countries on Amazon. And it will be in pre-sale 4 weeks before, so in September. And that will, if you buy it on pre-sale, here comes the selling point.
Yeah, go on.
If you buy it on pre-sale, I've created this online course called the Above Average Method. And there I give you all the worksheets and everything you need and high quality videos of how to implement all these 20 steps. So you can get that for free and the value will be around $1,500. And that's my way of, you know, getting you guys to buy the book.
There you go. And can I get my hands on it?
Absolutely. It's yours.
I'll be the game plan. I'll be the guinea pig on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the signed version.
Yeah, please. Yeah. I'll literally like walk up to you in the gym and I'm like, sign it. Bro, come here. That was fucking awesome.
Thank you, man.
But guys, here, seriously, everyone go check out Mike. To like the energy I'm feeling after this chat, it makes me realize how much I love doing podcasts. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Keep it real. We're out of here. Until next time, peace.